Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 4 that we're starting tomorrow. And I hope that you managed to catch up if you haven't already done so. Some of you have started week 4, so congratulations on that. So let's get started. We're going to go through the slides, and then you'll get a chance to ask questions. And of course, you get a certificate. Let me know in the chat if you got your certificates the last time. You should have at least 3 for if you've attended these Zoom meetings. Here we go. A little bit about me. The only difference from last time or the last 3 times is the fact that I added the link to where I teach. In case you're interested in doing a master's of science where you don't need to know any kind of computer science, coding, or anything like that, you can get your master's as a teacher and learn about immersive technologies. And you don't need to buy the gears. So you don't need any coding or to buy the gears. And you get a chance to do a master's and have an MSc on your title. And you learn a lot. So I teach immersive technologies. Most of the students are teachers, many English language teachers from around the globe. It's not just Greece. So the agenda for today, we're going to look a little bit of some previous information on Moodle Learning Management System, Moodle activities and resources. I'll be mentioning some things there. Moodle blocks, I'll also mention things. Design courses with 25 AI tools and how to go about it if you haven't started that yet. Tasks of week 4. Record, screen, and share. There's some news on that. Enrollment methods. Keep guests until the course ends. For now, you'll be adding 4 participants to your courses using the manual enrollment method. 5 video tutorials, checklist of the AI tools that you'll be viewing, badges and certificates, and of course, support and references. So the LMS components that you're very familiar with now, and you should be very proud. Really, you've come a long way. You might not realize it because there are lots of bumps along the road. It's not a, a very smooth, road. There are many bumps and you go through the bumps, but you're managing to do so much. And the thing is that when we learn something and we practice new skills, we forget that we're learning. We focus more on the so-called negatives and on the bumps and less on our achievements. And you're achieving a lot. You'll be able to recognize this, I suppose, when you reach week 5 and you go back and see what you've accomplished. But I can see amazing things and things are working for you, things that you may have felt at the beginning that this isn't working, and it is, and you're doing really, really well. And I would pat you in the back if I could, but you could pat yourself right now because you really deserve it. You really are doing fabulous work. So these are the components that now you're familiar with, very familiar, I would say. And you probably, feel like you've known this all your life because if it was really, really new, it probably doesn't seem very new. And the whole point, of course, is to practice as much as possible. So sometimes the tasks may seem mundane and why are we doing this over and over? But that's how you sustain learning. And you're also learning from one another. You're watching each other's videos, which is ideal because that's peer learning. We're not just learning from one person or one area. We're learning from everyone. And that's wonderful, not just from, things that go right, but things that don't go right, becoming aware of it. As teachers, we need to know quite a bit because our students will be experiencing a lot of bumps also along the way when they learn online on any platform, whether it's Moodle, Canvas, or anywhere else. So the activities, the resources, of course, and the blocks. And we've gone over the blocks last week. And now you're on your way. Actually, you're on your way to put away, get rid of all the activities if you want to, or hide them, resources and blocks that you have in your topic sections in the course, in your course. Get rid of that and only focus on your course. So Moodle activities and resources, these are the ones that you'll be focusing on. And some of you, well, most of you have mentioned sticky notes, quiz, and some of the other activities. The book resource, notice it's a resource file folder. I'm really enjoying how you're approaching things, because if you watch every single video, you'll learn something new. And your way and how you look at things are very different from each other and from the way I look at things. So it's really brilliant to be able to learn from your videos. There's always something there that somebody else or I don't notice, and you pay attention to it and you describe it. You know, your language, the way you describe different things from your context is truly amazing, because it enlightens me, and I'm sure it enlightens you if you watch the videos. These are the blocks that you'll be using, as one of you mentioned, Nicole specifically mentioned. There are 65. You don't want to have a list of 65. You don't want to add them to your course because it is overwhelming, and students do see them except for the administrative ones, and it's a bit much. They won't see the sharing card or mass actions, but they will see the others. And yes, it might be too much. And many of you have discovered the comment block, which is quite interesting. It's got its, of course, its disadvantages, but it's interesting. And you can add that. Just want to remind you before you create another video tutorial to make sure that the guest access is not hidden. And since you can have more than one in addition to the manual, make sure that after you create your tutorial on the enrollment application that you hide it and that you unhide the guest access, because otherwise we won't be able to view your videos. Only you will be able to see them, of course, and they will not appear as user. They will appear as WBM in the correct way, but because your course does not have guest pass, we won't be able to view the videos. So make sure that you bring things back after you create the tutorial, if you haven't already done so. I've done it for I think 3 or 4 courses since I couldn't view, and I figured that was the reason, because everything else was fine. So watch out for that. So what do we do with the AI tools as we develop a Moodle course? Because don't forget, you're learning a few things here. Some of you are very new to Moodle, some are not. But nonetheless, you're learning about the latest Moodle 4.5, which is quite different from other Moodle versions, older versions specifically, very old ones like 3.9 before 4, or even 4 is very different from 4.5. 4.5 went through a huge change after 4.4, so they're not the same. They're very different. So you're learning about AI tools. So it's a lot, and you're doing it, okay, which I'm very, very happy about and proud of you. So these are the 25 AI tools. Now, some of them you won't be using for more than, say, course syllabus or lesson plans, but you won't be using them for specific, now that you know the activities on Moodle, for specific activities, you will probably use them for resources. So if we talk about Canva, we all know what Canva can do, and it's for presentations, videos, and images, of course, and for your badges Some of you have started with that. Start thinking about creating badges because that's what you'll do this week. So you'll be using it for that. So it's more or less for resources. Very little activities involved there, but you can still use it for that as well. Same with Chalky, Course Magic, CourseBox, CurioPod, Easy Peasy. Let's see what else is here. Logic balls. Okay, these are for specific resources, not so much for activities. However, if you've got the resource, you can use Quizlet, Quizzes, Twee, EduAid, and there's a few new ones. Some of them are priced, so I try not to use the pricey ones, the ones that don't have much in their free version, and you need to pay. But there are many, many of those if you're interested in paying. If you are, let me know. I'll be able to share many with you. And then Gemini, of course, ChatGPT. You're using develop online courses here, but it's more or less the same with a few differences. So actually, you can use those for activities as well. Mizou, Riffbot, all these bots, okay? Mizou, Riffbot, AI, Character, what else? 11 Labs. These are all bots that are wonderful for the discussion forums. Now, you did a great job, those of you that have so far, and I'm sure the others will too, but let me just help you out here. You created discussions using the tools. You just mentioned the tools, that students will be using the tools. But in week 4, you'll be using the tools as you work on your course, because you're not going to ask students, go here and create a character. That's not how it's done. Or create a Mizou, or create a Riffbot reflection, or create Roshi, or okay, you're not going to send them there. You're going to ask them. That's what I'm asking you, but you're going to ask your students to use the activities that you create. So you're going to create a Mizou bot for your students. And you can create this at whatever level you wish. Some of you have taken courses with me, for example, AI for ELT and other courses that were specific to English language teaching, where you use these tools and it was clear. But here it might not be clear that the idea is to use these bots, to create a bot for your students to engage with. That's the idea. Okay, so you need to go into these bots and create something in week 4, which most of you didn't do in week 2, but you had enough to do anyways. So now it's time, week 4 and 5, to work on your courses. And this is what the tools can do. For example, character. You can create a character for role playing. You can create a character for language practice, math practice at various levels, but you need to feed the character. And if you want to feed the character in the right way, you go to ChatGPT or develop an online course and you ask for instructions or for ideas. So you're using the resource ones, whether it's ChatGPT, develop an online course, or you're using CanMigo or Twee or Cascade or Roshi, whatever you're using. Course Magic is not that great for that. Whatever you're using, you are going to ask for help. Some of you may be using Gemini. How many of you like Gemini? I mean, that's fine. You don't have to like it. How many are using Gemini? I personally stopped using it when I found out that it's not developing as fast as ChatGPT is. But you can also use Microsoft Copilot, or you can use others. There's Claude that's quite good as well. So you can add in the chat box what you're using and what you like to use. Some of these are, preferred over others. It might be a personal thing. Okay, so feel free to add that, whatever you happen to be using. 11 labs, so that's the character. You can use it for various things, such as create a character. I think, Elizabeth, you did some wonderful things for various levels. You worked on character, and Mizou in a previous course, I don't know which one, that you took, where you created some wonderful bots. I think Visit the Doctor, was it? A Visit to the Doctor? Was that the one? You can use your audio. I think you can unmute yourself and share that if you like, or you can add it in the chat box.
Yes, that was one, but I just another one with more prompts because I'm better at this now for
Yeah,
level 2, and it's kind of working, but I don't know, it takes a lot to train.
yeah, it
Like,
does.
oh my gosh, because it falls off the rails.
Yeah, it
But it's
does.
funny, it's very interesting actually. It's really good.
Yeah, it takes practice and it takes, well, we do devote a lot of time when it comes to preparing lessons. So this is a different way, I guess, of doing these things. So character is one. Another one is Mizou, of course, which you can also add, customize it to do what you want it to do with your students. Notebook LM is also another one that you need to customize, and it has a custom. So work on the customization, which is super important for a Notebook LM. You can summarize research. You'll have this presentation. It's in the course. You can go over this and see, get some ideas. You can also ask online Moodle course, online course, I forget what it's called. The one that I develop an online course. I have so many of them. Um, and ask for ideas, for 11 labs. Now, all the GPTs are able to go into the internet and get information from there as well. So if you get information and you want more, and you're not getting enough of it through the GPTs, the chat GPTs, that you might want to ask it to go into the internet. I have to do that sometimes. Just please check further by going into the internet, because it doesn't always do it. And then there's quizzes, which is kind of nice. You can design games and embed them in Moodle in a discussion forum or somewhere else on a page. But if you want them to be involved, then you need to do it in a discussion forum. Quizlet is another one that you can embed into Moodle using the website feature on Generico. Riffbot AI, you need to ask for permission to use it as a teacher, and then you get the free version, and then customize it as well. And Roshi, of course, you don't need to customize it, but Roshi is similar to Tweets for English language teachers, but others can also benefit. I like Tweet because it still allows me to add a YouTube video and everything, all the activities are based on that, where Magic School stopped this, as I told you. They claim that it's against YouTube's privacy. Right, so week 4. Okay, you'll have a lot of time in week 4 to work on your course besides the activities. So you'll be communicating with others. You'll invite 4 participants, and there, you'll add at least 4 participants. Now, how do you do it? Everyone in the course is already there in online courses for free where your course is. So all you need to do is you go into the enroll and you simply hit enroll, and you see their names. And if you don't remember their names, you can go into the participants list, get their names, and simply pull them into your course manually, enroll them into your course. So that's a process. You'll be showing how you do that. You'll create 2 groups. If you have 4, so 2 in each group. And there are different ways of grouping. You'll find out about that. What's nice about Moodle, if you're using Moodle, is the fact that you can put each participant in a group, and you can give private lessons this way, or you can customize the course to each individual student. So you put each one in a group, and then you have activities, and these activities go to the specific groups. Really easy to do and very convenient. I don't know any other LMS that does this. So it's a great way to personalize and individualize learning for your students. And have different levels. You know, that's usually the problem with courses. It's one standard, one level for everybody. But in this case, you can have one course with different levels and cater the activities to the different levels. You'll create a discussion forum for group work so that each group will have to do group work instead of individual or class work. They'll have group work. They'll be able to communicate with one another. There's that feature as well. When you create a group, the group is created through the enrollment. I'll share some videos if it's necessary, but I think exploring is a wonderful way to learn. You can always ask questions, but the more you explore and ask questions, the more you will remember, or at least never forget. But if you need, I have lots of videos on my channel. You can go into my channel, my YouTube channel, or I can just search for them, and that's how I get them as well. And you'll add the progress bar. I think Nicole has already added hers, did a great job. You mentioned some things that I never considered, so that's wonderful. You should really view each other's videos and create a video tutorial of the grade book. I think you did that as well. The grade book is interesting because it's not really a grade book. Yeah, I think they should change the name. It doesn't do what it used to do as a grade book, but that's what it's called. You'll find that under grades. Students also see the grade in the blue strip, but they see different things than you. If you want to see what they see, you need to change your status to a student or a participant. You can do that. You'll also, as I mentioned before, you'll be using Canva, hopefully, because unless you want to use something else, that's fine. But I've been using Canva for years, digital badges for each section. So each of your sections, and I'm not talking about the activities, resources, or blocks. You can get rid of those or hide them. For each of the other sections, you don't have to include those in your course completion because you will also create a course completion for the activities. The activities that you create or created, because you'll be creating new ones or additional ones, have to have a completion added to them. Otherwise, what's the point? They need to do something, whether it's just reading, but if they do the activities and you've added grades and you've added discussions, it doesn't have to be one. They might be required to reply to more than one participant. And you'll be creating certificates for your course. And that's the most exciting part. I love that. I love the badge part and the certificates. That's what I do for my courses. So actually what you're doing is you're creating a course similar to the one that you're taking, basically. You've been getting badges. By the way, you can add in the chat how many badges you got so far. And of course, you'll be getting a certificate at the end of the course based on the same things that you're doing. Okay, so it's all the same. There are different ways of creating activities. Right now, there are three. There's beautiful certificates, which is a new one. It's quite easy. They're all under activities for the teacher. So there's beautiful activities, simple certificate, and there's a customized certificate. Actually, there's another one. There's also a course certificate that doesn't work that well. So I hid it from you so you don't see it, and I don't see it either. You'll add the certificate to your final section. I mentioned 5 here because with your new course, you only have 5 sections. The 8 is because you have the additional activities, resources, and blocks. But actually, your course is 5. You can make it longer. Okay, I hope that these are real courses, not just demo courses or dummy courses that you can use, because you'll be able to back up your courses and take them to another Moodle site, or you'll be able to back them up and migrate them where they're converted to Canvas. You can also add it there. The recordings, you've gone through a process, and thank you for that, because through your comments and questions, I was able to add extra codes. Not that I know coding, because I don't. I never really learned it. I just picked it up through other websites, and now I'm picking it up from ChatGPT because it provides me with all the coding for Moodle that I need. So with the help of ChatGPT and the codes, and I didn't have to go to any Moodle developer or pay anyone. Not that I would pay, but it was all there on ChatGPT. You just need to ask the right questions, and you get the answers. So I was able to find out that you can paste the WBM. And now, good news, Nicole, the server lacked something that had to be added. The Moodle had it, but the server didn't have it. And now it has it. So now you can view all the videos, all the WBM videos. They're converted to MP4s on your iPhone or iPad. So that's news as well. So thank you for sharing what didn't work for you, because that's the only way to fix things. Because nothing is perfect when it comes to technology, and it won't be perfect ever, I don't think, unless people keep asking and requiring or wanting more. So it's really, really important for us to work together on this. Enrollment methods. Now, there are a few enrollment methods. The admin adds them. Moodle doesn't come. Moodle comes with self-enrollment, guest, and manual. All the rest, the admin adds. There are plugins that can be added. There's a special place if you're interested in learning how to manage a Moodle and how to be admin. I'll be giving a course for the first time on this platform. I've never given it on this, but I've been giving it on another Moodle site that I have, where I've taken a lot of money for it, and now it's really, really, it's an amazing course, and you'll be learning a lot. Application control over who enrolls. And this is important. I think we want to know who the participants are. So we ask them a question, just like you had to answer questions, because this course, AI generated Moodle courses, had the application. You probably don't remember, so I'll remind you. Guest access, anyone can, but the admin has to set it at the admin level, at the system. It's called system. Only the admin has rights to the whole system, the Moodle. And then there's manual, which is compulsory. Please do not remove it, because if you remove it, you remove yourself. And if you're not the admin, you can't add yourself back. Only the admin can. And and self-enrollment, as I mentioned. There are others by invitation that I have, but I removed. Some of them are problematic. Some don't always work. Some are based on previous courses. Upon completion of another course, that's another way to enroll. You can enroll by categories. You can enroll by payment and pay for the course that you take. That's another one, through PayPal or other means. I also want you to note that you cannot have more than one besides the manual. In other words, it's only application plus manual, guest plus manual, self-enrollment plus manual. But you can't have two, because then they override each other and nothing happens. So this is, in case you forgot, and I'm sure you have, what you had to see in the application. Now, I usually add text because I hate download, upload. I prefer things to appear right in front of me, and I don't have to involve my computer with uploading down. Even with students' work, I don't let them upload anything or download because it's a lot of work for us and for them. We can add things directly in the message area by text or other means. So this is how it went. Thank you for your interest in taking this course. Blah, blah, over there, the dates. This free 5-week online course is open to anyone passionate about online education, regardless of, okay. They will learn how to develop and so on. And then I added a link that I developed. And then you had to complete, those who complete the task, of course, get 20 hours on their certificate. I think it's 30, actually. I'll have to check that. Write a brief 200 to 300 word statement, why you want to take this course. Discuss your interest in online education, how you plan to use, and so on. Okay, this is to make sure that your participants, if you're not asking them to pay, because if you have payment, you presume that they will be serious. But this is a way to make sure that if it's a free course, that they're serious. But it doesn't really mean that in actual fact. Right, so are there questions so far? You can shout out. I see there's some comments here in the I don't see any questions. Oh, I see a question, difference between groups and cohorts. Oh, huge. Yes, that's a wonderful question. There's nothing in common. Let's put it this way. Cohorts is not a group. Well, it could be a few people. It's just a few people that you add to your website. And by the way, there's also enrollment by cohort. It's done by the admin of the site. You add and you give certain teachers, if you have faculty, you give the faculty, you turn them into cohorts. The admin does. Teachers don't have any rights to do anything there because it's a system administration feature. And then they can be, you can bring them to different courses as a group, as a cohort. So if you want to enroll them as a cohort, it's a lot easier than just adding them, especially if you have, I don't know, 50 or 100 or 200 or 2,000 faculty members. You can do this with students too. If you add them, I don't know, it's possible. I wouldn't do it with students. I would just do it with faculty or special people, advisors, or I don't know, maybe the ministries or people, special supervisors, and so on. Groups is what teachers can do. They can group, and there are different ways you'll see in the activities how you can group. But first you need to create a group, and you'll find this under enrollment. Under participants and then enrollment, everything is there. Enrolled users, I think they call it. Still, the name there is not, they'll be fixing things. So badges and final certificate, this is it. And there's a video here using Canva, how to use Canva to create a certificate, a customized certificate. And I think that'll help you. It has helped others. Elizabeth, I think you also followed that and you managed to create, but maybe you forgot. That's the thing with remembering things. You don't have to remember anything because the explanations are there. But if you make mistakes, you won't forget. So I think, Elizabeth, you didn't make any mistakes if you forgot. And so that's the custom certificates. And don't forget that it's based on completion conditions that are in the activities and resources. And these are the 5 video tutorials for week 4. The first one is showcase the grade book, which some of you have already done. It's quite easy. You just go through it. You go to the grade at the top, and then you'll get all the information on the left. You just open the menu and you'll see whatever is there. I hope it doesn't confuse you because there's a lot of information there. But if you'd like to be able to set your course a certain way, I suggest you go to online courses, the GPT, the chat GPT, and ask how to set up the grade, the numbers. Okay, that's what I did at a university. I couldn't figure out. I had something like 17 activities, and I wanted certain ones to be 30%, some to be 70, and I wasn't going to do the math. So I asked ChatGPT to do the math for me for a Moodle gradebook. So today you don't have to worry about any kind of math, any kind of anything. You just ask ChatGPT and you'll get everything that you need. You just have to be careful because sometimes it gives you lots of different options and you may have to try all of them to see if they work. Video tutorial 2 is showing how to create a progress bar, a block of the graded activities. And video tutorial 3 is course completion setup. That's quite easy and a lot of fun. I love that part. You go to the top of your course, top right, you open up the more. Usually it's under more. The fact that it's under more means that there's not enough room. So if your screen is small, you'll see less on the blue strip, and then you'll see more with a lot more things. So the more is only for convenience. It adds what it can't add because there's not enough space in the blue bar. Okay, so that's more. Go into that and you'll see the course completion. Under the course completion, you'll see the badges. So you click on the badges, then you take care of that. Usually they coincide and they're all based on the activities. If you don't have activities with completion on them, they will not appear in the course completion and you won't be able to set up, but you've done this already, so it should be fun. And then create and enable badges in the course. As I said, it's just under the course completion part. And then there's the final video, which is to create your certificate. And that's a lot of fun. But keep asking questions. Don't go into frustrations. Okay, just ask questions. And now enroll participants manually, which is what you will be doing. I'm looking at the chat in case there are any questions that I missed. I don't see question marks. Okay, if there are, you can also shout out and let me know if I missed anything. All right, so yeah, about the enrolled participants, I'll show you how that's done in the course after I finish this. And now for the keep asking. Okay, and remember, this is for your course. I added it for you as a participant, but these are things that you will have to consider when giving an online course is ongoing support. Okay, students need it. And if you've got someone, an assistant who can do this for you, you can get an AI assistant to also do this for you. There's the feedback in this case, which helps. But you can also ask, don't be afraid to ask ChatGPT for anything. You'll get lots of ideas, even if you don't get answers specifically to what you're asking. So support forms are the best. Mail and messages really drain teachers because you have to go into it. And then you can't really share links or, it's very, very flat, where support forms are not. There's so much more. They've got the editor. The mail system has the editor, but not every admin adds the mail. It's a plugin. So you can't add it in Moodle, for example, unless you have admin, which you don't, you're only managers. So you can't add plugins. You can't add it on Moodle Cloud either. If you're interested in having your own Moodle site and course, plus getting support, immediate support, then consider my hosting company, which is amazing, and they don't charge that much. So let me know if you're interested in a Moodle site, and then you can take the course and learn how to be the admin. And that way you could add plugins. Okay, so that's just a little bit to go over what we've discussed for your courses. Of course, these are the references. I'm sure there are a lot more. I try to get the ones that are current. That's it for this part. Those of you that are here will be able to go on. Those that are watching will be able to use the support form for questions, or they can use the comment box on YouTube for questions.